Chapter 1, Lesson 7, Ratios and Rate Problems. Our content and language target for today, content. Students will understand that rates and ratios can be used to solve everyday events. Our language target is students will demonstrate their understanding of rate by working together to solve a ratio or rate problem that can be part of their everyday life adventures. We want to look at example number 1. It says Heritage Middle School has 150 students. 2 out of 3 students in Mrs. Mason's class prefer gel toothpaste. Use this ratio to predict how many students in the entire middle school prefer gel toothpaste. Well, the first thing we want to see is that our ratio is 2 out of 3. So I have put over here, I made a column of 2, 3 boxes. This represents the 3 total students that were asked. The 2 that we're looking for are these 2 people here. These 2 people chose gel toothpaste, but we want to know how much is in each one. So what we need to do is look at the 150 students that were surveyed. So in order to do this, I have 3 total boxes. So I'm going to divide 150 by 3. And by doing this, it sets up for how much is in one of my boxes. So when I divide by 3, 3 does not go into 1 evenly. So I look at 15. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. I subtract. I get 0. I get 0. I bring down the last 0. And I know 3 goes into 0 0 times. So therefore, we're done. We have 50 for each box. So when it asks how many students prefer gel toothpaste, it says 2 out of 3. Well, I need 2 of the boxes, so I need to add these 2 numbers together because that's 2 out of the 3 boxes, and that's 100 students. Let's try our second one. So here's my second problem. It says the ratio of the number of text messages sent by Lucas to the number of text messages sent by his sister is 3 to 4. Lucas sent 18 text messages. How many text messages did his sister send? So when I look at this, here's my ratio of 3 to 4. That's not 3 out of 4, that's 3 to 4. So for every 3 text messages Lucas sends, his sister sends 4. So if I want to know how many his sister sends, if he sent 18, I set up a rate table like this. And I have 3 to 4. That's my ratio. 3 messages that Lucas sent for every 4 messages his sister sent. So I put in a multiplication sign here because I want to know what can I multiply by 3 to get 18. Well, I know that 3 times 6 is 18. So remember in our ratio table that whatever we do to our top number, I have to do the same thing to my bottom. So I'm also going to multiply the 4 by 6. And this tells me that 4 times 6 is 24. His sister sends 24 text messages. So by creating a rate table, keeping a box in between, we can multiply to find our answer. In example number 3, it says the Millers drove 105 miles on 4 gallons of gas. At this rate, how many miles can they drive on 6 gallons of gas? Well, this is our rate problem, and we can solve this as we have before, finding the unit rate. So notice that my two numbers are here, 4 and 6. We're talking about gallons, so I'm going to put a 1 in the middle. This tells me that I'm going to find the unit rate. How many miles can I travel in with 1 gallon of gas? So to do that, I'm going to go like this. My numbers are getting smaller, which means I need to divide. What can I divide by 4 to get 1? That's 4. So just like the previous problem, whatever I do to my denominator or the bottom number, I have to do the top. So I'm going to divide 105 divided by 4. And again, if I use my calculator, I know that that answer is going to be 26.25. Because what I've done is I've taken 105 divided by 4. 4 goes into 10 twice with 2 left over. So this would be 25. 4 goes into 25 6 times. That's 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. And 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. So now I have my unit rate. For every 1 gallon, he can travel 26 and 1/4 gallons. Now, but I want to find out how far I can go in 6 gallons. So I multiply. My numbers are getting larger, so I multiply. And I multiply by 6. So whatever I do to my bottom number, I have to do the top number. So when I multiply that by 6, I have 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 6 times 6 is 36. Plus 1 is 7. Carry the 3. And 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. And he can travel 157 miles, 57 and a half miles, miles. And this is our rate problem that we've been working on this last week. We want to make sure we find the unit rate so that we can find an unknown number. Here we have the same problem. It says there are 810 calories in 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream. How many calories are there in 7 scoops? This one's right up my alley. I love ice cream. So again, we're talking about scoops. There's 3 scoops, and here's 7 scoops. So I want to know how many calories there are in 1, because this is going to be my unit rate. So when I look from 3 to 1, my number's getting smaller, so that means I have to divide. What can I divide by 3 to get 1? That would be 3. So with unit rate, whatever I do to the bottom or my denominator, I have to do the top. So I divide 810 by 3. 3 goes into 8 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. 3 goes into 21 7 times. And 3 goes into 0, 0. So for 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream, it's 270 calories. But if I want to know how much 7 is, 7 scoops, I now have to go from 1 to 7. So my number is getting larger, it's increasing. What can I multiply by 1 to get 7? Well, that would be 7. So remember, as whatever I do to my bottom or my denominator, I have to do it to the top or my numerator. So I'm going to multiply 270 times 7. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 7 is 49. Carry the 4. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 4 is 18. So in 7 scoops of white vanilla ice cream, there are 1,890 calories. Please have your notes ready to be checked tomorrow with Mr. Cutsforth or Mr. Skinner or Miss Leach. Want you to have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.